because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. James Moorcroft joins me. It's a big week in Bolton and it ends with Friday night. A massive card and some massive fights underneath it. Before we talk about the boxing, how's life?
Life's fantastic, mate. I've got a 2-year-old kid at home who's decided that she doesn't want to wake up in the middle at night now. So life's gone from great to fantastic at the moment, especially for a fight week. So I'm buzzing, mate.
And it's like she's picked the right week.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a James Moorcroft that isn't tired this week.
You're going to get the best James Moorcroft there is, yeah. Thanks to my little 2-year-old girl. I love it bits.
Brilliant. A massive week, obviously, for Lyndon Arthur and Channel 5. What's it like kind of being involved in this setup? Because there's been a lot of talk around boxing over the last week about eyes when you look at Bawakzi in the zone, and it's kind of been a lot of talk about that this week. You're talking about Channel 5, a platform with more eyes than the rest. So just being around this in a boxing sense must be perfect for you.
Yeah, no, it's great. I've fought on Channel 5 a few times and it's always been absolutely amazing, professional. And like you say, I've not got the Channel 5. I've not been on live on Channel 5. I've had the live stream, so I'm looking forward to be on Channel 5. You know, it's a fantastic platform, a world title show. And got to say thank you to Wasserman and Channel 5 for putting 50-50 domestic fights on it. I think, you know, you've got Conor Walker and Kane Gardner's going to be an absolute barnstormer. Me and Nathan Bennett, we've got it all to lose. We're both going to lay it on the line. And, you know, I think boxing's missing good 50-50 British domestic fights. And I can't wait to be involved in one. And come Friday night, it's going to be an absolutely amazing night.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. I think if you look down a lot of undercards, there seems to be at times perhaps a lack of 50-50 domestic fights. And for you, is that the thing that wakes you up in the morning when it's not your 2-year-old? Is that the thing? Is that the thing that wakes you up? The fact that you've got a fight that's kind of going to get you going, because you've done your learning fights, you've had your journeyman, you want a fight that kind of gets the blood flowing now.
Definitely, mate. You know, like I say, I've been over to Bilbao and Matchroom and took fights maybe I shouldn't have took at this level, but you know, this is a genuine 50-50 fight. You know, Nathan Bennett's had 85 amateur fights. I've never had an amateur fight. I didn't know what amateur boxing was till I was 22 years of age and started boxing. So, you know, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be whoever implements the game plan well. I've got Anthony Croll as my coach, so I'm pretty sure his game plan is going to be spot on as usual, and I can't wait to implement it. I think I've had 4 fights with Anthony now, and this is going to be the pinnacle one. I think everything's going to come together on what I've been learning, and come Friday night, I'm going to be in mandatory position for that English title come late summer.
Talk about the potential of the English title and beyond in a sec. You mentioned obviously going to Spain and you had that defeat to Martin Harkin. I just kind of want to know from where you are what you took from them 2 defeats. Obviously, I can imagine the first one perhaps is more damaging in the sense that it's your first defeat. But as you sit here now as a man who's been defeated twice but still in this good position, like how much have you learnt just from them two defeats?
I've learned so much, mate. Like I said, with having no amateur background, I kind of had to learn on the job when I started as a professional. You know, maybe I shouldn't have been in Scotland fighting for a British eliminator in my 11th fight. Maybe that was a step too far. But you know, like you say, I come back. It's not what you do when you win; it's what you do when you lose. And I believe a big name said to me once, he's never known a fighter learn off a win, which was quite kind of great for me to understand. And like I say, I went to. A lot of people don't know this, but I meant to fight a guy called Darren Surtees in April, and he ended up pulling out on fight week. And you know, I'd done 4 months training. I needed the fight, and the John Miguez fight come up 4 weeks after. So you know, it was the only thing to do. There was no fights knocking about, so I went over there and got beat by a phenomenal guy, and which is an absolutely amazing guy, John Miguez. And I really do hope he goes on to big things, and I know he will do.
Yeah, well, like you said, it's kind of them things that have got you to where you are now, and you're ready for this stage of your career. Let's talk about the English title. So it's Anthony Tomlinson and Danny Ball who are fighting for that title. That's a really good fight, and the winner of that, the winner of you and Nathan as well, there's a massive fight to be made for the English title. Do you have a preference? Because either way, it would be the belt if you won. Do you have a preference?
Yeah, I just said it on stage, and you know, no disrespect to Anthony Tomlinson. I know Anthony Tomlinson. I think Danny Ball is the better fighter, and it'll be a tougher fight. So I'd sooner fight Anthony Tomlinson to win it. But no, listen, I've sparred Danny Ball. He's a fantastic boxer. Whoever wins that fight, I'm easy. I'll fight any of them. I think fights, styles make fights, and they both, like I say, Tomlinson's style is a lot different to a lot of other boxers I've seen. So styles will make fights, and there is no preference. I'll fight any one of them.
It could be a mad situation, because let's just fast forward, I don't know, even 6 months, and just say you're the man with the English title. This fight originally wasn't even for an English eliminator, was it? So you've gone from just having a fight to potentially putting yourself in line for a title. So a bit of a whirlwind time, would you say?
So to be honest to you, it was a 4th of March, 8-round fight against Nathan Bennett at the Olympia in Liverpool. Then Wasserman picked it up. Then we got made mandatory for the final eliminator, and then for an eliminator, and then we got made mandatory for the final eliminator. So it's been absolutely brilliant. It's just been going from strength to strength. They said things come in threes, but this is coming fours. But it will come in fives come Friday night, because once I get that mandatory position, then I can't be denied that English title.
The way this is going, it's going to end up being a WBA world title fight. So,
I hope so. I hope so. I've heard I know the IBO's vacant at welterweight, and I know people discriminate the IBO at times. But if I win the IBO world title, it will be a world title, and it's going in my Instagram bio.
Speak it into existence, mate. Speak it into existence. Just kind of one final thing before Friday night. What sort of fight are you expecting in the ring? Have you shared any rounds before? Have you done too much research? Kind of what's your knowing of what he's going to bring in terms of style? And how do you think this all plays out?
No, I'm very professional in my job. So I've watched everything I can find of him. Spoke to people. I know Nathan Bennett. He's usually a very angry, come forward fighter, which I've seen a different kind of Nathan Bennett this time. You know, he's shaking hands. Normally he's up for it, a bit angry. I believe we both know what's at stake here. We both know where we're going to be when one of us loses. We both know what a win's going to do for us. It's a long way back for the loser. And I know he's been going on a lot about amateur boxing. I know he's saying that I've never had amateur fights. He's played on that a lot. You know, I think he's going to try and maybe box me head in kind of thing as such. But, you know, it's easier said than done once we're getting down the night. He is coming up weights. I am going to be the bigger guy in there. I am going to be the stronger guy. And I've been working with Anthony for 3 years now. So if he thinks my boxing style isn't great, well, he's got another thing coming come Friday night.
Refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,